We all know about the beauty that is Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Those are looked at by the community as the most fluid games, and they have the most depth in them when it comes to combat in the Kingdom Hearts series. With this being said, there's a lot of other mechanics from the non-numbered titles that sometimes go a little underappreciated that I feel were really well done. You have things like command melding, flow motion, and keyblade leveling that really helped make these other titles enjoyable experiences. Not better experiences than, let's say, 1 or Kingdom Hearts 2, but good enough experiences that it kept you playing the game until the end, I'd say. Today, I would like to talk about some of those underrated features in the Kingdom Hearts games, and I have a friend with me today who is not a stranger to the channel, so please go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
What's going on, my fellow residents? It's me, TheFrozenCavern, and I am here to help talk about the Kingdom Hearts mechanics that we liked from the previous KH titles, excluding 1 and 2. As someone who has noticed that Kingdom Hearts 3 has included a lot of combined gameplay aspects from the previous installments, I feel it is pretty important to go over what the other games had to offer and why they are being utilized now or why they were removed.
Alright, so all of his info, guys, will be in the description below, so check that out and let's get started with the video.
For one, we could definitely start with flow motion, because flow motion was definitely probably one of the biggest changes to the entire series, because it allowed for a lot of faster movement in terms of actually traveling around, and then it also offered a lot more exploration for more of a vertical standpoint, because a lot of the Kingdom Hearts games, especially after 1, were a lot more horizontal and flat, especially games like Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep is probably the most flat game in the series compared to the other ones, and flow motion helped carry that into a bigger realm of light. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 is using that a little bit. It's not nearly as much as Dream Drop, but it is still using it a little bit.
Another idea that I would like to talk about as well that they did, which is in most of the Kingdom Hearts games that aren't 1 and 2. I do not think Chain of Memories definitely does not have this, and Days does not have this as well. And that is the overall command deck system. The thing that we have in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 and Days is called the command menu, where you're basically just scrolling up and down, going through magic, and it's like a mini menu basically. Then the command deck, you're simply just, your abilities are all laid out for you. You go into your other menu, the pause menu, and you equip those abilities, and all of your abilities are just right there laid out for you going up and down. You press triangle to activate them. I feel like the command deck is something that it's not super appreciated by the community, but I don't necessarily see a lot of people complain about it at the same time. It's kind of something that's kind of just there, but I do like it a lot actually, because I realized this, I used to not like the command deck. I realized this when I played Days and saw how the command menu kind of felt, you know, on a handheld console, and I realized this is not that fun to use when you're not playing on a TV or not using an actual controller, you know?
So I feel like the command deck can be utilized really well. In fact, I feel like Recoded probably had the best command deck menu, mainly because none of the commands really felt too broken. Recoded also has some really cool commands. In order for the command deck to be really good, it needs to have a decent amount of balancing, and Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep had a pretty difficult time with that, because there were usually like 1 or 2 commands that basically overpowered everything else in your arsenal that wasn't a cure. Okay, so this is probably a thing that's only for a very select few people, but the card system that was in Chain of Memories I personally like a lot, and it's mainly because in Chain of Memories it has a lot more focus on strategy and selection of what specific attacks and whatever you wanted to have equipped. You couldn't just equip basically whatever you wanted, because games like Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 1 to a little bit of an extent, you were able to basically equip literally everything whenever you got it. Especially 2, because you got AP boost so often that you were basically just always able to equip stuff. Chain of Memories basically helped balance the game a little bit by having you actually have to like think out, okay, what do I actually need to take with me? What do I not need to take with me? Should I just take this over this to give me like a little bit of an advantage in this particular area? And if you knew the game well enough, you were basically able to just overpower everything just through knowing just what to take with you.
I actually enjoyed the card system a lot more than I thought I was going to. I remember going into Rechain, I was very iffy on it, and I was iffy on it for a lot of the beginning run of Rechain for me, but the card system in Rechain is one of those things that you kind of just have to get used to over time. It's something that gets better and better, and it never does get worse and worse, especially it starts to become very fun to figure out what goes with what, figuring out how slates work, and things like that. It's a really fun thing to figure out, and it's very nice messing around with the different slates and just messing around with different card combinations.
Now, even though both me and Prodigy like the card system a lot, I easily understand why Square Enix would not want to re-implement this into future games, because again, a lot of people just straight up didn't like it all that much. The only way I do see it being reused in future titles is if it's for like a mini game or something like that. In fact, Dream Drop Distance even had something similar to that, but again, unless it's like a mini game, I don't see it reappearing.
So transitioning into command styles is something from Birth by Sleep and in 0.2 that I love a lot. I think command styles is something in Birth by Sleep, although, you know, a lot of people end up spamming like certain abilities like Thunder Surge or the Mind Squares. I think command styles just add a lot to the combat, and they're not all that useful in boss fights, a lot of them, but they are very fun for mob fights, which do take up a good like 70% of most of the Kingdom Hearts games, and I feel like it's very important that, you know, I'm able to have that much fun during the mob fights. I think the leveling up of different command styles, like as you progress through the game, that you're able to unlock more and more and more, you end up having level 2s or level 3s in some cases of these command styles. It's just really, really fun. I like it a lot.
For me, the command styles, while they are really good and help diversify the gameplay from just having it being very static, overall, in Birth by Sleep mainly, I don't like how you weren't really able to have the option of using it. Thankfully, 0.2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 are fixing that, but in Birth by Sleep, you didn't really have the option to fix that, and in my opinion, some of them aren't really all that great. Like Sky Climber is my least favorite one for a multitude of reasons. Like, you aren't able to block while you have it, you're stuck in the air while you're using it. It's just a really bad command in my opinion. And it also basically kind of made your finishers useless, because finishers really only worked when you basically just did nothing but attacking, and using only one ability of your command deck all of a sudden just makes it so that you'll basically just automatically get the command style, and it was really annoying when you don't want to go into a command style and you just want to do a regular finisher that you have equipped, and it's pretty rare to even use those.
Talking more about Birth by Sleep, command melding is something that I actually want to be in a lot of future Kingdom Hearts games, because that's one thing with Birth by Sleep that I really, really enjoyed, and I cannot find a particular flaw in. I guess the only flaw is that a lot of the things that you would mix together, there wasn't too much variety in the things that you could create with command melding, because a lot of the things would end up being either useless or just something you don't need in general. But I do like the idea of command melding itself.
And command melding is really interesting because they also did implement that in Recoded, but they didn't implement that in Dream Drop Distance, which is a little bit interesting. It makes me wonder if they're going to try and use that in the future Kingdom Hearts installments, because other than like the number titles, I do feel like they're going to take more of a command deck aspect when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts games, because a lot of them have to be on handhelds at some point, because that's usually how a lot of the series has been. So I'm expecting the command deck to return for later games, but in terms of actually being able to do the command melding, which didn't really have any form of flaws, honestly, there were really just more positives. There was like a little bit of a luck aspect, which is a little bit annoying sometimes, but other than that, there's not really too many problems with it. But again, I do wonder if this actually is going to be coming back in future games, because of the little bit of a rocky place it stands when it comes to the actual games that we have right now.
Command melding was basically like synthesis with your abilities. That's exactly what it was, honestly. And I like the idea a lot. A lot of people love synthesis from Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, the whole synthesis system that they have in place there. And I really like the idea that Birth by Sleep did by having all of that like mixed in with your commands. I thought it was really cool. I think that a lot of these mechanics, while a lot of them probably aren't going to return, I know for a fact, we've actually seen it in Kingdom Hearts 3, they have been taking a lot of these mechanics and kind of tweaking them, or taking their ideas and applying them to Kingdom Hearts 3 to make that a better game. And if they just keep doing things like that, sometimes things aren't going to be as good as you may think, but as long as they're able to learn and able to improve off of it, which Square Enix is definitely doing right now with Kingdom Hearts 3, I think it's all good in the end.
And while these aspects are being used in Kingdom Hearts 3, I do wonder what will lie after Kingdom Hearts 3 in terms of a lot of these, because again, while they can take some aspects from the previous games and reutilize them, which they have done in the past and are especially doing in Kingdom Hearts 3, they do still have to add some new aspects in order to make the game actually interesting and not feel exactly like some of the previous games.
But regardless though, thank you guys for watching this video. I really do appreciate all of the love and support that you guys have shown me today and have been showing me for the past like couple of months on the channel. Like, geez, we only reached 1K like 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago now, and we're already like above halfway to 2,000, and I never thought I would reach this fast just right after reaching 1K. Make sure you go and subscribe to the boy The Frozen Cavern, link below in the description. He makes amazing content. If you like Nintendo, Kingdom Hearts, a lot of things really. Cavern's just a very entertaining individual in general. You guys seem to have been enjoying him in a lot of the videos he's been in the past on my channel, so make sure you go sub to that man right now. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, share the video with a friend or family member, and last but not least, if you want to become a part of the union, join the Discord server, and just click that red little subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and this has been Cavern, and we will see you guys another time. Peace out.